here we go. And that one will sail out of bounds, and we get to meet Cutter Boley. Got the start last week against Eastern Michigan. They got some talent in the backfield. It's Seth McGowan getting the start tonight. And a former Oklahoma Sooner who's had a long and windy road to this point. Stewart is an absolute game record. Here's Kendrick Law. He finds the edge, and they're finding new ways to get him the football as he takes it past midfield for a pickup of 11.
Early mistake for this young quarterback, but not as bad as it could have been.
Now to the pistol and a handoff to McGowan, and he's able to find the edge and rip off a big one on second down. That's a pickup of 17, and the Cats are marching with this ground game.
It's a massive block by 84 Josh Caddis right there on that outside zone game. Bush Hamden, the offensive corner, are going to try to build the offense around this. Watch it.
Well, Dazan and even fronts mean for both sides tonight. That's Law in motion. He picks up the block and straight ahead run for a first down. Yeah, great job in the portal trying to rebuild this offense. It starts with the running game. Here's McGowan, shakes a man to the outside and to the end zone. 20-yard touchdown run for Seth McGowan.
Then you're going to read the end. Great job by Cutter Boley just reading the end. That was the right read, getting McGowan up north and south, one-on-one with the safety. Bakari Swain back there. I think they need to run 16 a lot more tonight to help out.
Sellers finds room straight ahead. And just at the marker, and you see his strength to hold on as that ball was nearly ripped away from him.
Great job there, keeping your eyes downfield and getting up and through the pocket.
The play action off the fake toss off the hands of one receiver and into the hands of another. And Jatius Jacobs. Third and 9, three-man rush with a spy. Out route hauled in by Brian Rowe Jr., the speedy. They're 4 of 7 on fourth down this season. They rush 3, and he finds a pocket for the first down to Nick Harbor. Dave, thank you. We welcome those who watched that thriller in Starkville. Here, Oscar Attaway III, just short of the first down, will leave third and short. Tom played last week in the second half on the road at Missouri. 11th play of the drive. Sellers keeps this one, and he rumbles for a first down. And that is a play that they weren't likely to run against Missouri last week coming off of the injury.
Yeah, but you got a healthier quarterback. You got Nick Harbor over there that's a 6'5", 235-pound receiver that's lead blocking. Love the play here. Great decision.
Kentucky scored on its opening drive, leaning on the ground game, and now Carolina trying to return the favor. Here's Faison off the right side, and he stays on his feet into the end zone. Both teams have scored on their opening possession as Faison takes it in for 12.
A nice little counter play. Great job by the offensive line. Jordan Dingle pulling around, and Rasul Faison running through arm tackles. We got a ball game, 7-7.
And under Stoops, when they've been at their best, that's been this program's identity. Here's Seth McGowan.
Malachi Wood, an extra offensive lineman in the game.
On 3rd and 2, to the flat. That's the tight end, Willie Rodriguez. And he is off to the races. Rodriguez finally taken down inside the 25. What a play call by Bush Hamden. And ends up a 54-yard rumble.
Watch Willie right here, and actually Dylan Stewart right here is going to be the guy that needs to run with him. He's going to get his eyes in the backfield before he's late peeling off. You see nobody else going with Willie Rodriguez. You bring extra offensive linemen in the game. That usually tells the defense, hey, 3rd and short, they're going to run the football, get big boys in there, little play action. Love the design, and I love the trust early from Bush Hamden.
On the other side, get Dylan Stewart's eyes in the backfield, get him to lose discipline.
They're running at these defensive ends.
Here's Kendrick Law, the Alabama transfer. He's got a lead blocker or two. And he's forced out of bounds just shy of the marker. They went to Law in the second play of the game today.
Run contain has been suspect early for South Carolina so far.
Law in motion again. They go straight ahead. First down carry. That's a 27-yarder. Kentucky has scored on each of its first 2 possessions, and Coway stays perfect on the season, 7 for 7. 38 yards on the ground. First possession for South Carolina. Sellers rolls the pocket. Jatius Jacobs, the catch. He is so good on the move. Here's Seth McGowan carrying it on first down for nearly 5 yards.
Backs were young but light. 185, 190 pounds, 195 pounds, 215 pounds. He's explosive and physical.
Beautiful play in the backfield by Cisse coming in from his cornerback position.
You got a running back to his side. Let's see if they help Chip and try to give Boley some time here.
Stewart comes to the inside and drills him. The ball came loose. It's scooped up by Carolina. And another non-offensive touchdown. Jatius Geer picked up the Dylan Stewart forced fumble and took it 41 yards.
To pin his ears back and rush. A great stunt. They went TE, which means the tackle went down. He looped around to the inside.
That ball was definitely out. Geer took it the other 40 yards. It's a second defensive touchdown of the season for South Carolina.
We didn't call protection directions. I walked to the line of scrimmage and I slid it to Jadeveon Clowney every single play.
To the slant. Oh, picked off! It's Gerald Kilgore. Kilgore weaves through. There's a flag down, but he's in the end zone on a 45-yard return.
He's going to come into your screen. He's going to jump, and it's going to cause Cutter Boley to throw this ball a little further out in front to Kendrick Law, about a foot too far. Got spooked a little bit by DQ Smith, jumping right in the passing window. Not a bad throw, but some veterans that have seen a lot of schools, a lot of situations, giving some confidence back to their young quarterback.
Zada's got to win against number 1 in his back pocket. A bounce to the outside on the return. And the kicker saves the day. Let's get you to the studio, find out what's going on in the league. Here's Dari. Takeaways turned the game into Carolina's favor last year. Now the run game with McGowan. Carolina's loaded the box. Boley lets it go to the sideline and incomplete, out of bounds. Ran Jared Brown out there as well, and there's your quarterback run. And Sellers keeps churning. Passing game was on point against Mizzou last Saturday. 4-man rush. Sellers drilled, and beautiful catch by Jacobs.
Boy, Sam Green runs the same stunt essentially that Dylan Stewart did to cause the fumble a few plays ago.
This is the 4th different starting lineup up front for South Carolina in 5 games this season, as Attaway tries to carry the load, and Cole part of that.
So they sneak him into the flats.
Former Cat, they pressure Sellers. He's going the wrong way, and they push him all the way back to the logo. Cisse Humphrey Grace, my goodness, a junior from Cincinnati. 13-yard loss.
Boy, you're going to see again another big stunt, and watch Rodney Newsom. I think he's a little rattled from the last couple plays.
There's Law on a touch pass, as you said. And Law squirts free before taking a big lick from Brian Thomas. It was about 1.5. And a bounce to the outside, right into the defender and right at the marker.
Now we can get things going in the right direction.
Trying to run it to the right side. That's not working. Dylan Stewart introduces himself to Dante Dowdell. They rush 4, and Boley hit as he throws. Threw it up for grabs. It is intercepted. Jump ball brought down by Brandon Cisse.
Boy, they're really trying to get this deep sail route by Kendrick Law. Umazulu does a great job of coming off another stunt.
After that, 2nd and 5. Sellers rolls. That little dip got him some space and good blocking on the edge. It's a first down run.
Ups and downs is a good way of putting it so far this season, but he's a pretty good guy to be coaching your quarterback. Cam Newton under his belt. Josh Allen as well, and he's making plays like both those guys right now.
And they just can't bring him down. Ran right through multiple tacklers. There's a flag down To the ground game. And touchdown, Russell Faison. And we got extra pushing and shoving.
Nothing crazier than this. Look, he's going to use the ball to keep him up. Oh, just touch it to the ground a little bit. That's probably the third time that someone has hit Sellers in the pocket and he spun off it, turned a negative into the positive. I think the most positive aspect of South Carolina tonight has been Faison.
Drawing something unique up. He said, I don't like touchbacks. I want to give my guys a chance to make it happen. That's a legal move if the ball hits the ground first. You can't punt it, but you can drop kick it. And the coverage is there to stand him up at the 20. You must be seeing ghosts. And then we'll keep it on the ground with McGowan. Here he comes. And they go straight ahead. That's a first down run, a little bit more on a shifty move to the outside by Seth McGowan. 5 wide, 4-man rush. Buy some time with the roll, and he's got nowhere to go. Another sack for the South Carolina defense as Brian Thomas chased him down from behind.
So they're just going to move the pocket, get your young quarterback on the run, get him out of the way of Dylan Stewart. You got a tight end there helping to protect. Right now, throw it away. Nobody's open.
Bowling to the outside. Here comes the pressure. Got it away. And Bowling's now found a rhythm. Comes from an athletic family. Here's a 5-man rush. Bowling can't escape. It's another sack for South Carolina. He looked good in warm-ups, looked healthy. 4-man rush. They get rid of it quickly to Willie Rodriguez. And Rodriguez pitches to the edge.
Got to be careful.
It's Macklin on a U-turn on UG. And then, whoa! Huge hit. Scooped up by South Carolina's Gerald Kilgore. And Kilgore gets taken down. 6 false starts and 1 offsides. And here's a swing to Brady Hunt. Hurdle remains for a first down. It's Harbor in motion. And Faison left side, nothing. Cole?
I got to jump in on this with you because I was a little confused with Coach Beamer. I want to see if Jordan's on my side here. So,
and break and contain, that was the recipe for Kentucky early.
Here's a screen. Long turned it upfield instead of cutting to the middle. Wide receiver. This Kentucky coaching staff talking about him said, you know, he doesn't have a whole lot of football experience from strictly the wide receiver position.
He still has that frame, and if he can evolve into something like that for Kentucky with a young quarterback, that would be really good.
Boley escapes the pocket and then gets popped from behind and then from in the front.
Now you're back behind the chains.
Trying to stretch it and unstretchable. McGowan tackled by Sean Murphy.
Troy Pike's 33 at D tackle. We're going a little bit lighter there.
Boley taken down again. Held the ball and Brian Thomas made him pay. The 5th sack of the night for the Gamecocks.
Well, you're going to see speed rushes from both Brian Thomas this way and Dylan Stewart. And watch as Boley steps up and navigate. He's got to go. As soon as
Lenore Sellers, an efficient 8 of 11 through the air. Hadn't hit on a deep one, though. And intermediate game pays off as he slings it to Vendrivius Jacobs. I was talking with some of his golf buddies at halftime, and they said, first time I've cried at a game. The lead play for Sellers.
Jeff Saturday is a great segment on Get Up where he loves that, too. Put the belly on him, man.
And they put the belly on Sellers and take him down.
Back-to-back drives. This defense is holding their own to start the second half.
Under 5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Oscar Attaway III. After a 300-yard passing game last week in Como. Mason Love's going to fake it. And they throw it out to the tight end, Mo Brown. He's stopped short by half a yard. Zach Calzada with a shoulder injury and then got his spot taken by Boley. Kendrick Law took it. And they pick it up. And they run it behind him, and McGowan takes a hit. Second and 4, trying to run it again. It's a loss of 1.5 yards for McGowan. Under center, Gilmore tries to turn back upfield and gets smoked. Gerald Kilgore good. Fresh set of downs for Lenore Sellers and South Carolina with 3 and out. Previous possession and delivers that one on time. Great fake. And off to the races goes Jacobs. Vendravius Jacobs finally caught up to by J.Q. Hardaway. 61-yard catch and run. Sellers with the dump off. Jacobs doing the work. And South Carolina's flipped the field on the catch. South Carolina still hasn't crossed the 100-yard mark on the ground tonight. After the fireworks, waiting for the smoke to clear, and they go right back to Fuller.
Looks like it's that Bears game back in '85, whatever it was.
A little bit later, but yeah, I remember that game. Here's Sellers, and he picks up a first down after he got hit. They need their defense to come up with a monster stop. Work it to the perimeter, and Mazio Bennett. This time we called his name tonight.
Been running well the last couple plays as well. There it is.
Trying to win a race to the edge. He won that and reached for the pylon. Picked up the first down, but ran out of gun last time. Hesitation up the handoff and no signal. There it is. Matt Fuller finds pay dirt for the first touchdown of the season.
Blocking didn't have to be perfect. Matt Fuller was able to fall forward, runs into a couple Kentucky defenders, carries him into the end zone.
Then a hit in the backfield. And South Carolina's Markel Goodwine as the 9th tackle behind the line of scrimmage for the Gamecocks tonight. 5-man rush. Boley hit. Ball came out. And Kentucky seemingly fell on it. Jatius Geer came in like a wrecking ball. Man.
Shiazbi just struggling on this left side. It's just going to be.
On 3rd and 22, hoping McGowan can open the door. That kind of stuff drives a guy like Mark Stoops absolutely batty.
Oh, no doubt. Shane is a guy that coaches with a ton of emotion.
Sellers comes out of there again. A 20-yard gain when he should have been thrown for a loss.
I mean, ball security is optional. He's just look at the
That's the one thing that he wanted to remind himself of each and every game.
Sometimes, kind of like a baseball manager getting tossed for arguing balls and strikes, sometimes you let it go to get your team fired up.
When you're a head coach, sometimes you got to know what can fire your guys up, what type of coach you need to be in what moment. Looking a lot better with that unit up front.
Here's Sellers to the edge and a first down, and with 5 minutes to go, down multiple scores, you got to look ahead for Kentucky because power run game for Matt Fuller.
So oftentimes you get fooled by recruiting stars and you just don't take the time to evaluate, does this fit us? Not is he a good player? They came into this game last in the SEC in total offense at 300 yards per game, 123rd in the country.
Promised Darren I'd get that nugget in before the end of the game, and I beat it by 6 seconds. All South Carolina, 21 points second quarter. And the swing game goes the Gamecocks' way.